on the bug per year?
You got it on there?
Yeah,
How much?
25,000.
Okay, the annual meeting of the Solid Waste Authority now called to order. We'll have annual reports from the Executive Director. It's included in your board packet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me say, I think it's been a very exciting year, staff and the board. There's been a few rocky spots, but I think we're big enough to work through those. I think we've had a successful year. Even with the loss of funding, we've maintained our budget. We'll come in the black. And I've got a list of things that we have, some of the accomplishments that we've done. We've had a lot of tours, a lot of people come to see us. They see other landfills, and we're always getting that about on what it looks like and how we do stuff. And I won't read through all these things, but we're looking forward to the next year. And I only hope and trust that the July 10th meeting will be a good meeting for both the board and hopefully staff will be involved to how we can develop more teamwork. I think through the course of this year, with help with HDR, we will set the tone for the future on diversion and what concept that we will be looking at and zeroing in on. And we're hoping that first workshop, I told the chairman of the county council today, I hope this room will be totally full of people from all across Overy County, that we can all together pick the direction that we go in the future. I think we're doing a great job on recycling, diversion rate of 71% of everything, and the recycling rate that we've hit this past year. I think that's extraordinary with no demands or legislation from the Capitol. And of course, we're looking forward to more capital work next year. We've been successful with our flow control in federal, state, local courts, and we'll proceed on. But we're looking forward to a next year with the board.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
When you talk about a room full of people and the board being involved on July 10, you were talking about two different things, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And July 10 is that's our first
That's
workshop on bylaws, the board meeting about bylaws.
July 10th won't be the
July 10th
bylaw.
Is the board workshop meeting.
On bylaws.
No, we don't get to the bylaws till the second meeting.
July 10th is your your this book workshop. July 31st, I believe, is your bylaw, 2 o'clock.
Okay, on July 10, we look at this
We do the
Board.
workshop on the board team handbook.
board team handbook,
Yes.
but you're not expecting a whole bunch of
No,
people.
sir,
to
no,
that.
sir. That's kind of for us. I guess it'll be advertised as a meeting, workshop of some sort. And we get through this book, and by the way, I've got the answers to all those questions, so you need to do your own answering. But this is a good book, and I think it'll be great that we go through that. And
I agree. I read it last year when you handed it out.
yes.
It's been sitting on the shelf for a year.
Well,
And I think that it'd be a good thing, but that's what happens on July 10, and then on July 31st, we talk about bylaws. And then when a big crowd is gonna be here that you talked to the chairman about, that was on a different subject.
that's gonna be you waste management program, the 3-year plan that we have to do, that the League of Cities and all the cities are involved, community group, and we explained that to the church when we saw the movie over there, that
Yeah,
those
that date's
people-
not been set yet.
No, sir. And that's the meetings that Mike said earlier that he would set, with HDR in attendance. They'll be running those meetings.
That's the 40-some thousand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Any other questions for the executive director?
By the way, Danny, I read your list. I agree with it 100% in terms of topics that you've had to deal with. And I think you've done an outstanding job as our president or executive director.
Yes,
And
thank you.
I even appreciate it when you call me up at 8 o'clock on XYZ morning and share your views with me. But I'm saying you've done a great job.
Well, this is a great place to work. We do good work, and I'm proud to be here, and I hope every board member's proud to serve and help lead, and you must help guide and lead this organization, because that's where our guidance comes from. It's hard to push that type thing up from the bottom. And I appreciate each and every one and look forward to a great year.
Are there any comments from the officers or reports? Run my battery down. Any committee reports needing to be made at this time? Administration and Finance?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to thank Ms. Bidding as stepping up in her new role, and replacing Ms. Crump, and it's been a pleasure for the Finance Administration Committee to work with her this year. Appreciate all the support and assistance we've had from her and staff. And I think our committee worked harder than any other one, so thank you for helping us lead us through that, Ms. Bidding. Thank you.
Operations and Planning? Recycling and Corporate Affairs?
And let me say too, Mr. Chairman, we have added some new people this year in new roles. Jamie, back on the back row, he's taken on a leadership role, and Jan has done that. We hired Lane Fairclough at the Murph. So we're hiring new people, and they're good, and we look forward from doing good things, and we'll get better.
Let me say, Dr. Coakley, that since you appointed me of the very busy Appeals Committee, I want you to know that we satisfied everybody who appeared before us all year long. I say that as chairman.
Thank you.
I think that's great that you satisfied everybody on an appeals committee. I would have to pat you on the back, but I would have to ask you how many came.
The same number that's come for the last 10 years. That's why I'm on the committee.
Okay.
It's a zero committee.
Any other comments that are in order? Old business, we need to ratify the actions we've taken by the board this year from June 2013 to June 2013 to May 2014. We need a motion for that. Second. Probably moved in second that this board ratifies all action taken by the board in the previous fiscal year, from June 2013 to May 2014.
Well, I earlier raised objection about the methodology associated with the nominating committee. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you took that off the table? Or I do not approve at all whatsoever what the so-called nominating committee did. And
There is no nominating committee report, so, I mean, there's nothing to object to.
good, thank you.
Previous question? All those in favor make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, so ordered. In view of the issues that were brought up as it related to the nominating committee report, after consulting with our attorney, we decided that it was best for us to elect officers from the full board. And so it's at this time that I declare that all officers are vacant. We need to elect officers for the Solid Waste Authority for the coming year. So the floor is now open for nominations for the office of chairman.
I'd like to make a nomination, please, sir. I nominate Mr. Coakley as the chair.
I second that.
Are there any other nominations? In view of the nomination and view I've been,
And I've got some other nominations. Are you going to do it
let's do
by?
them individually.
Okay.
In view of that I've been nominated, I'm going to ask that the attorney would handle the motion.
Okay. A motion has been made and seconded for Reverend Coakley as Chair of the Horry County Solid Waste Authority. All in favor, please say aye.
Wait, there's been no discussion.
I'll call for discussion.
Thank you.
All right.
I think we'll find a phenomenal wonder between 100% agreement between the list that you guys worked from last month and what takes place now. And you started it off. And I can already tell you who the other three will be. That was all I had to say.
Any further questions or discussion regarding the question on the table? All right, let's call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? None? Nomination carried. Reverend Coakley as chair.
Floor is open for nomination for vice chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Lance Thompson as vice chair.
I second.
Properly moved in second that Mr. Lance Thompson serve as vice chair. Are there any other nominations? Chair recognizes none. Nomination comes to close on Mr. Lance Thompson. Are there any questions? All those in favor make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, so ordered. Position of secretary.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Mr. Mike Campbell.
Is there a second?
Second.
Probably moved in second that Mr. Mike Campbell serve as secretary. Comes to a question. All those in favor make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, so ordered. Position of treasurer.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Mr. Norfleet Jones.
Is there a second? Been properly moved in second that Mr. Norfleet Jones serve as treasurer. Question? All in favor make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, so ordered. Are there any other items on the agenda?
Yes, sir. Those are, well, I guess you'll make appointments to the other committees when you assume the chair as the next year's position as next year's chairman.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Any other questions? This meeting is adjourned.